Another successful day today, guys. Let me show you exactly what the logic is going into today's thought process. We tapped into discount yesterday, making this huge parabolic moves, and so we know that with classic expansion we expect TGIF Friday. So yeah, with this variation in price, yesterday we kind of took TGIF's moves coming down into 50% of the range. So I was expecting some sort of bullish day today, and Asia and London consolidating for the day really kind of solidified that idea, because just before market open we decided to sweep those lows, thinking this was the 8:30 manipulation. You expect 9:30 distribution, and so that's the reasoning for my initial buy, and it was early before market open, and we know that we don't have the best of luck when it comes to early trades and trading before our session. And so I understand taking that loss initially, because we were watching price, expecting price to respect this order block, this fair value gap, and continue higher. Meanwhile, it did that initially, but we couldn't break that previous high, as you can see here on the 5-minute. And so our only fear is, we were kind of expecting this. We were expecting 9:30 second manipulation. We were watching this hourly wick that was made just before we started the new 3 o'clock candle. What's that? 9 o'clock candle for the New York people. So we're expecting price to respect this hourly wick. So if we were going to get stopped out in that first trade and still respect bullish, I'd expect price to first do this deep retracement into that into at least 50% of that wick, and then continue higher. So we were watching US 30 very closely, because US 30 was what was giving that beautiful AMD setup, as you can see here, with our SMT to support price, manipulating down and then pushing higher straight to target, to where the top of that accumulation was. So that's what we were looking at when we were trying to look for trades on NASDAQ, because NASDAQ and S&P were relatively moving very similar. So yeah, sorry if I stumble over my words, but you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, when we saw price manipulate so deeply during that market open, we were expecting that second manipulation, and we had orange folder news at 4 o'clock. So that would then be our driver to push this higher. So yeah, just watch out when we see 2:30 manipulation. Be wary that there can be again second manipulation before we distribute again. So yeah, just be aware of that. I went down to the 1 minute, waiting for price to give us that reaction. So you can see this beautiful bunch of down candles creating these fair value gaps. As soon as we saw this inversion on the 1 minute, yeah, we were very quick on this reaction, which is really good. 1 minute inversion paired with an SMT, because we made this huge second manipulation. We didn't have that on US 30. Yeah, you can see the I don't have this lined up properly, but there's definitely a SMT here with everything else. So SMT plus IFEG, we get a respect of this IFEG and the fair value gap overlapping. You can just call it a BPR, whatever. We get this respect, boom, awesome confirmation, and so we enter that buy right there. So we took a minor loss on this first one. It's okay, we were not out of the game. We were going to be out of the game, but we had the suspicion at the back of our heads that we might have a second manipulation. And I was prepared to take the second loss if I was wrong. So but I was very convinced with what US30 was doing. If we go on the 15-minute, price was climbing up this 50-minute fair value gap on all sides, especially with this SMT pushing us higher, market open manipulating, and then creating this inversion with an SMT with our second manipulation and pushing us. We were aiming for partialing with this high, but we got relatively close. At least we didn't like how price was chopping a little bit over here. So that is fine, because we hit target on US30 at the top of that accumulation, and that's why we partialed there and trailed our stop loss towards this 15-minute fair value gap at the start of it, because we thought, okay, if price was going to come down, manipulate and push us higher, it would be very quickly. But we were consolidating around that area and we weren't pushing past this previous high, so it was a safe bet to rather keep our stop loss just below that 15-minute low. In other words, the start of that fair value gap, because price is consolidating and not pushing us higher, and we're not prepared to go back down into we'll go deeper into our wallet, into our pockets, and lose out on the majority of our ongoing trade. So that's the results. I think it was a great trading day. I think as long as you saw the AMD on US30, you would have been fine. You would have been able to read price properly, because that's exactly what I was looking at. With S&P, you can't really tell because they did move very similarly, but I think adding US30 to my arsenal of marks to like compare was definitely a good decision on my part. And I think it's just helped improve things, and especially I think moving away from the pressure of being live. I just put the live on and then I ignore it while I'm busy. I'm just focused on the charts, just me and the charts. And as much as I'd like to respond and talk to you guys on the stream, I have to kind of lock in. And I think so far it's helped keep me calm, less emotional in the trades. I'm starting to see better results as a result. So yeah, another green day. Super happy about that. We undid our loss from yesterday, so we're in profit for this week. A profitable week finally, guys. Oh my goodness, can we get W's in the comments? Congratulations, please, thank you, because yeah, we've been struggling for a while, and I think it's been an emotional roller coaster in terms of trying to get our discipline and our emotions and our rules in order. But I think we've started to make a turnaround this week, definitely. I think it was a wake-up call this week to start to get our ish together, you know. Yeah, but as you can see, this was our first trade. We took minus $14.73 with our 0.5 contracts. Then as you can see, we took quite a big partial to cover some of our losses, and then some, and then we let the rest ride. So if I could do better, I would have maybe partialed a bit less, and then yeah, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We didn't move that far in terms of price. We've met minimum targets, so I think I'm happy about that, considering it is a Friday. Excuse me, it is the last day of the month, and while it's not a profitable month, it is a profitable week, so making progress, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm super happy. Can't wait till next month and next week. NFP week, guys, which means things are going to be a bit tricky when trying to read price, but that's okay. We are gonna do our best anyway. See y'all, all the best, and have a good weekend. Cheers.